Yeah, so that was some sort of bullshit last night with T. Higgins. This is the fantasy sports boss, a jaded fantasy sports boss here, Monday morning, discussing the absolutely ridiculous T. Higgins situation last night that had him trending on Twitter, of course, and having the a large segment of the fantasy football community up in arms because with the late Sunday start time. Most likely Higgins, there were a lot of Higgins owners out there who probably needed his points to win their week 5 matchup. I know I was one of them. I have Higgins in both of my leagues, and I started him in both of my leagues. And of course, became a complete shit show as Higgins played only a handful of snaps before exiting the game with a re-aggravation of his ankle injury. Zach Taylor tried to say after the game, "Oh, he's a gamer. He was going to try to come back and play." I mean, listen, he should have never been out there in the first place. And this is the kind of stuff that drives people in the fantasy football community wild when a player is activated. And they don't play at all. We've seen that happen before. Or if they're clearly hobbled and not 100%, not even near 100%, but they're activated anyway, and then a quick typical re-aggravation occurs, and then you're left holding the bag looking at a complete bagel in your lineup, and you really can't recover from that. So, yeah, that was a big one. That was very, very frustrating. T. Higgins has been tremendous, but, the Bengals offense as a whole looks broken. Jamar Chase has had sub 15 points in almost every game this season. Joe Burrow is making the best of it, but his offensive line is a joke. Joe Mixon's averaging less than 3 yards per carry in most games this season. And of course, to situation last night with T. Higgins, just beyond frustrating. And certainly you could say sour grapes for me, and I get it, no problem. This happens, it evens out. I'll benefit from it, I'm sure, down the line when somebody else has that situation. But there's just something very just beyond raw and aggravating when you're in that situation in fantasy football. Now, listen, we're playing a game in real life terms. It's just not really a big deal. But in that moment, you're beyond frustrated. I mean, just like in week 1 with Cam Akers owners and seeing Darrell Henderson come out and starting, or Allen Robinson trending, not trying to pick on the Rams, but Allen Robinson trending week 1 when he was not even involved in the offense, and that hasn't changed since then either. So T. Higgins, just an abomination. I don't think he's going to play this week. The injuries are just out of control. The offensive performances across the league, pathetic this season. It's just been I've never seen a season, and you can post in the comments if you agree or disagree. I've never seen a season through 5 weeks that's been more aggravating for me personally, and just nothing seems to be going right. The Dalton Schultz situation, two straight zeros in a row for him. There's the Matthew Stafford, the Rams outside of Cooper Kupp are just a joke. So, I mean, it's been nothing but frustration in the fantasy football community. Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, on and on it goes. All right, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. Monday is Crisis Point Monday. A lot of Crisis Point videos coming out today, including one on Christian Kirk. That was another one that pissed me off yesterday. So look for that a little bit later. Hit the subscribe, hit that notification button.